10 years, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has been getting a constant stream of updates. This game came out when I was in high school, and 10 years later I've graduated university and I'm getting married soon. To watch this journey start a decade ago, and now end here in a few days, is insane to me. And catching up in time to witness this grand finale is an incredible feeling. The final trailer for future Saga Chapter 4 just dropped this morning, and we need to talk about it. Now, throughout these DLCs, Fu has been playing with fire, tampering with the supervillain energy he found in Chapter 1. In this trailer, that experimentation finally catches up to him, it seems. It looks like he's either being completely overtaken by that dark energy, possessed by whoever created it, or he's actively channeling a massive reservoir of it to force a brand new transformation on himself. I love this design. It blends elements of Towa, Mechi Kabura, and the hints of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes look that he had. It's giving off these massive, high-stakes endgame boss, and I instantly thought of Sephiroth when I saw it. He looks incredible here. He redeemed himself at the end, man. I always thought he looked like a dork. It would be a shame if he isn't accessible to the vanilla players of this game. At the absolute bare minimum, he needs to be playable in the Crystal Raid mode. Letting a design this dope go to waste without player control would be such a huge missed opportunity. We can't go 3 for 3. We didn't get to play as Demagra in the first game. We didn't get to play as Final Form Mira outside of the Crystal Raid mode. So Bandai, please, let us play as this dude. Next we see Cronoa. And it looks like she completely succumbed to the corruption of the crystals, but listening in on what she says, it feels like she willingly turned to this dark power out of sheer desperation. Compared to the Time Patroller and the constant threats actively fracturing the timelines, maybe she felt completely powerless and this was her last resort. The arena for the final confrontation also looks like a twisted mirror of the time chasm where Bardock fought Mira, and in this space Fu is apparently throwing everything and everyone at us, an entire army of historical fighters. It even looks like some of the heroes got taken over by this as well. But in classic Dragon Ball fashion, when the world collapses, Goku is the last one there standing with us. Instead of getting possessed by the supervillain energy, Goku utilizes it and turns into Ultra Instinct Superhero, a clear reference to Moro Arc's Ultra Instinct Goku. I'm really hoping we see more manga-like super attacks with this guy, maybe even find a way to incorporate that defense that he took when Moro shattered his arm punching his chest, make it similar to how Super God Shock Flash works. Now, Fu isn't done here. The trailer drops a glimpse of him absorbing even more concentrated supervillain energy, pushing past his own limits until he completely loses control. He is fully surrendered to this corruption. When the dust finally settles on this very, very long saga, I think Fu's entire character arc is going to serve as a tragic modern Dragon Ball telling of the myth of Icarus. A brilliant mind that flew entirely too close to the sun on wings of stolen power. To show the patroller what's at stake, the trailer hits us with a beautiful recap spanning the entire 10-year history of the Xenoverse story. It also points heavily towards a massive ultra superhero transformation for the patroller, which feels like it's going to be achieved by channeling the remnant energy left in Fu's sword that we took with us from the previous chapter. We're officially getting 2 new playable characters alongside a brand new stage. A couple months ago, the Steam page said that we were only going to get 1, so I'm glad we got 2. I'm sorry, Bergamo fans, I know you guys wanted him in the game, but it looks like he just missed the cut right here. Maybe we'll see him in Xenoverse 3. Fingers crossed as well that Fu's new form is simply just hidden and they don't want to tell us that we can play as him right now. Now, Bandai is intentionally holding back 2 major pieces of information here. Since they've committed to dropping daily news reveals all the way up until launch next week, I'm going to go out on a limb and predict that we won't actually see the transformation for the CAC until the literal day before the DLC drops. That's even if there is one. We could just be getting baited by the story trailer. I've never seen Bandai treat a game with this level of respect and commitment, and it's incredible to see. The daily rollout is where we're bound to get our hands on gameplay looks for both Cronoa and Goku, and like I said, I'm incredibly hyped to see how those Moro Arc moves play out in real time if we do get them. For a franchise that has been this massive for a solid decade, this is exactly the kind of legendary send-off it deserves. Now, before wrapping up, they gave us a look at the upcoming release schedules that they have for the Dragon Ball games. Finally, we got news on Sparking Zero's Limit Breaker Neo DLC. As it is the next big milestone on the horizon, but the timeline shows a complete gap afterwards until Xenoverse 3 drops in 2027, which left me pondering if Xenoverse 3 is coming out way earlier than any one of us originally anticipated. Usually these games come out in fall, but since there's going to be a playable demo at DreamCon next week, and with the Sparking DLC coming out before August, that would put us at almost a year with nothing new. That also leaves me a bit worried. Outside of general patches, that Sparking Neo expansion might be the only major content drop for that game that we get for Bandai for the rest of the year. We're just gonna have to wait and see about that one. I believe this final DLC is going to bridge the gap and set up the third installment. We need to know what happens to everyone and why we haven't seen a hint of the time patrol yet in that distant future. Maybe this climax creates an entirely new timeline to replace that grim future few originally saw when this journey began, or maybe Toki Toki's egg plays a massive role in rewriting reality. It's surreal to think that this era is finally over. I am incredibly grateful to be back in the game right before Bandai delivers this last DLC. Getting to experience it live in the moment with everyone is a genuine full circle experience for me. I remember coming home from high school to watch Rhymestyle, Syriax, Jadantastic, Thundershot play this exact game, and now here I am posting my own videos on it. Now, if you guys are curious about where my future Saga coverage is, I updated to Windows 11, and in the process, I lost all my footage for Chapter 1. Thankfully, Chapter 2 and 3 were backed up in my Google Drive, so I still have those, but I'm gonna have to replay all of Chapter 1 and get the video for it. It's fine. I'm just gonna take it as it is. You know, it happens to the best of us. I'm gonna take it as a sign that I just needed to do better on that video, do better on the editing, do better on the script. At least I know exactly what I wanted to do for the edits, so there's still some good in there. I'm considering streaming the DLC on launch day next week. Since the revamp mod takes about a month for it to update, I'll probably have to experience this with vanilla first, and then I can follow it up with a much more calculated, thoughtful video analysis down the line. Now, if you're finding this channel through this video, consider checking out the rest of my Xenoverse series and the other Dragon Ball retrospectives I've been doing. We started this journey with Kakarot, and somehow we managed to land right back here in Kantan City just in time for Curtain Call. What are you guys thinking about this DLC? What do you think Few's gonna do? Are you guys happy to get another Ultra Instinct Goku? What are you guys' favorite moments with the Dragon Ball Xenoverse franchise? I used to run trios with the homies back in the day and just go into the game with nothing but para dance and the body swap. We would just bully these teams, man. It was great times. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the future Saga Chapter 1 video. It's been your local overanalyzer Artellings, and I hope you have yourself a damn good one.